Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Really cool news for you all today. There's a cross-map Super Easter egg style thing in Call of Duty World War II's beta, and as far as I can tell, what we've found so far is only the beginning, but there's a significant chance that this blossoms into something much bigger in the next couple of weeks and months as we get closer and closer to World War II. We're like 2 months away now, pretty much exactly. We're at the end of August, then we've got September, and then October, and then the game comes out. So it's really on the horizon, and this is really interesting. Before I jump into what it is, I need to give a big thank you to Prestige is Key. He's a friend of mine. He found this, as far as I'm aware, completely on his own. He was looking around the World War II beta maps and stumbled across something really rather cool, so I've got to give a massive thank you to him for finding it, and congratulations as well, I suppose. So if you want to check out his video on this, link in the description down below. I've got a little bit of a different take on it to him, so I figured that this video would be worthwhile doing, but without further ado, good job Ryan, and let's get into the video. There are several different maps in the World War II beta right now, and there are most likely going to be more coming at the end of this week, so that's the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd-ish of September when they open the beta back up for Xbox players as well. We're probably going to get more maps then, and I'm going to come back to that point in just a moment. But for now, there are a couple of different maps, and the ones that we're going to be focused on in this video are Gibraltar, Pointe du Hoc, and Ardennes. And that's because on those 3 maps, Ryan somehow managed to find 3 Spotify song tags, okay, and most of you probably have no idea what that even is, but don't worry, I'll explain. 3 Spotify song tags embedded in the walls or like on boxes in the maps themselves. They're little placards with tags on them you can scan with your phone and hear some hidden audio that's not contained in the game, but is obviously referenced to the game and sort of a part of the greater narrative at large, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is actually show you me on my phone getting one of these codes up live, just so you can see how the process works. So I'm recording on my phone right now. I'm going to go to the search and hit the little camera, and that should, there we go, bring me up. Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. You can see me in the reflection there. So what this is going to do is it's going to scan that code on Ryan's video here. Shout out once again to you, Prestige. But we're going to scan that code, and it should bring us up this playlist. So let's just get the reflection out of the way, and boom! It's literally that fast, takes no time at all. It's really good at scanning the actual code. Like, it's quite surprising how accurate it actually is. But there you go, there's one of the examples of an intercept that we've been able to intercept, I suppose, thanks to this Spotify code hidden in these maps. So you can play it.
All spots should target the stripes.
There you go, that's one of the codes, but I'm actually going to play them in order now, so you can hear each one, and I'll have some subtitles, minus the stuff that I can't quite make out. It's a little difficult to hear some of the things that they say, because some of the transmission kind of goes in and out. Some of it's in French, and I don't speak French, but I got a little bit of it, but I'll play those now so you can see what these transmissions actually are. The order of the transmissions is as follows. We start with Gibraltar, and that's Able. Then we move to Pointe du Hoc, and that's Baker, and then Ardennes has Charlie's Intercept. Here you go.
Attention. Attention. We, who are prosperous, must break all ties. I repeat, we, who are prosperous, must break all ties. If you can hear this transmission, répondez s'il vous plaît. The leopard spots are now in motion. Vive la résistance.
Dispatch received. Action is on Argentin. Breaking all ties. Please advise on operations order. Focus on Tiger's eyes and ears, or her stripes.
Spots should target the stripes. Reports confirm tigers are most susceptible when they are drinking water. All those who are prosperous, break your ties from now until the leopard wakes. we fight together. Pour la même patrie. Pour le monde.
So, there you go. Those are the messages. In my opinion, this is hella interesting because it feels like it's the setup to something more. It really, really does, okay? That first message on Gibraltar where she says, "We who are prosperous must break all ties." What exactly does that mean? To me, that kind of sounds like some kind of code word language for a spy being embedded in a country and then breaking their ties and essentially fleeing or going out from being undercover and going loud, so to speak, or whatever you want to call it. That's kind of the vibe I get there, is like, we who are prosperous, we who are doing well, maybe we who are the good guys should break all ties. Something like that, at least. I'm not exactly sure what they're saying there, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. Really, really interesting stuff. Then she says, "If you can hear this transmission, RSVP, Vive la Resistance, you. And the you is really interesting because that's the Morse at the end of the message, and there's different Morse at the end of the other messages, okay? Then in Baker, Pointer Hock, we've got dispatch received, action is Argentine, so you really can't hear that bit, but then he says, breaking all ties. Please advise on operations order. So it's interesting. Up the top, in the first one, in Able, we had, "We who are prosperous must break all ties. The wheels are now in motion. Vive la Resistance." And then in the second one, they're saying, okay, we're breaking ties. What is our operations order? What is the next step? So this is someone that's received the message and is acting on it. Focus on Tiger's eyes and ears or her stripes. I thought this was really, really interesting because this is basically another coded way of saying we have two options here. We can focus on eyes and ears, or we can focus on her stripes. And it's essentially saying, give us an order, advise on our order, which way are we going with this? What is the nature of this mission going to be? The eyes and ears, maybe that's referring to, for example, I'll put this into a Call of Duty context. You think about Vorkuta, right, from Black Ops 1. Focusing on the eyes and ears might be when the prisoners are storming out of the actual prison itself. They could be focusing on the watchtowers and things like that, and maybe any kind of communications devices and things along those lines. Focusing on the eyes and the ears. Whereas on the stripes might be stuff on the ground, the boots on the ground soldiers that are trying to hold them back and stuff like that. Maybe it's a different kind of objective that they're trying to secure or destroy or what have you. That's what that sounds like to me. Oh, and by the way, at the end of the second message, we have a www. I'm so surprised I managed to say that just then. That's such a tongue twister. 7 W's. So we went from 7 U's at the end of the first message to 7 W's at the end of the second. Keep that in mind, okay? Moving on. In the third message, the mystery woman who seems to be advising on the orders here gives some orders and says all spots should target the stripes. So, in response to the question from the previous message of should we focus on the tiger's eyes and ears or her stripes, the response is that all spots, so the spots are presumably the Allied forces here, the French resistance, and indeed whoever the good guys are, the prosperous ones, those spots should focus on the stripes and leave the eyes and ears, whatever the eyes and ears refers to. She then says, reports confirm tigers are most susceptible when they are drinking water. All those who are prosperous, break your ties. From now until the leopard wakes, we fight together. For the world. B. Like, B emojis. But seriously, it's so epic. From now until the leopard wakes, we fight together. Pour le monde for the world. Like, that's so epic, man. But let's dissect this message a little bit, okay? Reports confirm tigers are most susceptible when they're drinking water. That, to me, sounds like, well, possibly two things. If tigers here is in fact referring to the German Tiger tanks, that would be extremely interesting because then drinking water for a tank might be refueling, potentially, or going past a body of water or something like that. That might be a specific kind of command to say, when the tank is near that lake, or that river, or that bridge, that's when it's most susceptible. That is a particular area where there's a weak point in the kind of German defenses or something like that. Or they're saying every time that these things need to refuel, they are hella unprotected, and that is the time to jump on them. Or it might not even be referring to tanks, and it could, once again, be something completely different. But whatever it is, the tigers here appear to be the bad guys, the leopards appear to be the good guys, and she says at the end, from now until the leopard wakes, we fight together. Is the leopard waking the same as the breaking of the ties? Are they going to break their ties, break their cover, break their secrecy, and wake to become in full view and then basically start causing some trouble and fighting together for the world? Like, man, it just gets me hyped up and I don't even know what this thing means. The fact that they've got all this code word language in there just makes me so happy. It's really, really interesting stuff. And then also, the Morse at the end fascinates me because it goes U 7 times, W 7 times, B 7 times. UWB. I saw someone in the comments of Prestige's video saying, well, UWB could be ultra wideband, which is a radio frequency. That's a possibility. I feel like also, though, maybe this is some kind of specific military code, so they get the first message and it has a U at the end, and therefore they go, okay, U means something, and so we're going to act in a certain way, something like that. I feel like that's a fairly decent possibility as well, because it's just the sort of thing that I feel like would fit. Ultra-wideband spread across 3 messages when they're messaging back and forth just doesn't really make sense to me, although there is a chance that, holy moly, I've just thought, what if UWB wasn't some kind of back and forth thing that they were going to be slowly spelling out, but in fact ended up being a code for the callofduty.com/classified website. That would be hella cool, because we've had codes for that in the past, like XWZBA or whatever they've been, and so UWB something something, maybe in the maps that are coming at the end of this week, the new maps that we're going to be getting in the beta, no doubt when they release it on Xbox as well as PS4, maybe that's going to give us something on the classified site. That also, on the classified site, there's a radio box that you can tune the frequencies of and things like that, so that would all mesh together so nicely, and I mean, hopefully, if we do get more maps at the end of the week, we also get full messages, and in those messages we get more information about who the tigers are, who the leopards are, who this woman is, who the man is that's responding to her as well and accepting her orders, and all sorts of business. I mean, it's really interesting to me that the woman is French, the dude is not. It's all just, I love it. I love it so much. It's a cross-map Easter egg in Call of Duty World War II in the beta, okay? We are in early days of this game because it hasn't even released yet. And we're still getting, as the sun goes onto my face, I look so pale. Oh, holy moly. Holy guacamole. We're getting freaking codes and code words and secret messages and secret tags to external sources with hidden audio in the beta of this game. If that is not a good sign that this is going to be a banging Call of Duty for the storyline, for the zombies story, for the zombies Easter eggs, I mean, think of the possibilities, man. If this is the extent that they're going to, with the campaign teasers, or maybe even just like a world-building multiplayer type thing, then think of the extent they're going to go to with the zombies Easter eggs. Bruh. They've already said that some of their Easter eggs are going to be the hardest to solve in Call of Duty Zombies history. And if this is the beginnings of that, then I am just so freaking pumped. Holy moly. So, once again, big shout out to Ryan for finding these in the first place. Big thank you to you guys for watching this video. Drop a like if you've enjoyed, for sure. I've been MrRoflWaffles. Subscribe if you are new as well, very important. And I'll see you hopefully in an update to this story exceedingly soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye. That's really hard to say. That's really hard to say. www is at the end of the second message. So we've had you, and then www. Yeah.